Hey guys, welcome back to the AutoHound, and thank you Porsche of Nashua. This car is a 2009 Porsche 911 Carrera 4F. This is the 997.2. Has 385 horsepower with the PDK transmission connected with all four wheels to the ground. Just take a quick walk around on this car. These are becoming really, really well sought after cars because they're the affordable 911 right now and everybody is wanting one. So I wanted to give you all kind of a look around the car and see what you all think. Let's get underneath the hood. I love on the side here, you just pull both of those buttons and you're able to pop everything right up. Under the hood, you got a nice cavernous area in here. This is for your luggage. You could fit 2 overnight bags in here and goes right down. Over here, you could actually see the engine. Cool little 3.8 liter engine making 385 horsepower. That's insanity. It's the convertible. We're not going to put the top down right now because it's freezing out. It's got the 12-way adaptable seats. It has the memories, and it also has the window switches. It has the Bose surround sound system, and this is finished off with gray over cognac. Oh, this seat is so soft, and it smells so nice in here. All right, so this is the older version, right? So we're talking not updated infotainment, but this is the infotainment system that the car came with. And it has your nice little features on it, your sources, and you could have your satellite radio, your disc. It still has a disc, which is great, which is right up here. Your phone, you can take the CD out and put it in. You'll have your little glove box over here with more CDs that you could store up in the top, which is kind of neat. So if you still have CDs, that's where they go. Oh, it also has this cool pen holder right here. So if you need a pen, there it is. Over here, we have the actual business end of the car. So it's got the sport steering wheel up, down. It also has your cruise control set over here, your wipers. Over here is your high beams and your directionals, of course. And down here is where your key goes in. Your lights are set up over here is your key, like I mentioned a moment ago. Down here is the climate control for the car. We'll turn that up so it's nice and warm in the car when everybody gets in. We have PASM in this car. You could raise and lower the shocks, and you could also raise and lower the spoiler. Right here is this one is equipped with a radar detector. That's really cool. It's hidden away inside the ashtray, so you can turn the radar detector on and off. You can raise and lower the top. And in here you have a USB port, and also it actually says iPod on it right there. I love that. Has the old-fashioned emergency brake, which is a nice little feature. And this is where your cup holders are, right up here. Press on that and your cup holders will pop right out. And let's look at the back seat. That's your back seat. So you're not going to fit a lot of people in there except for a really small kid or one person sitting across long trips, but you can put a lot more storage in there. So that's a beautiful thing. Let's look at it with the top down, shall we? It took all of 20 seconds to do, and here it is with the top down. That's gorgeous. Let's put the top back up. Coming up. Right up and over. Latches right in. Windows go back up. And now you're all buckled back in. Pretty neat. Hey Mike, welcome back.
Thanks, Eric.
So why don't you tell me what we're driving today?
So today we're going to take out a 2009 911 Carrera 4S. It's also known as the 997 series. These were made from between 2005 and 2012. This is actually a .2 series car, and it was updated in 2009. And one of the best things it received was our PDK transmission, our dual clutch transmission, and this is one of the first cars that it was offered in, so the shifting is going to be nice and fast and crisp. just like our newer cars. But I wanted to take this car out today because, you know, a lot of clients get surprised when they find out that we sell classic Porsches as well.
So, you know, in my walk around the car, first of all, it's only got 74,000 miles on it. And with the PDK transmission, I know that the .2s are super desirable. And I really want, if you're going to look in the market for one of these cars, folks, this one's beautiful. It's the gray over the cognac. Is that the interior for this?
Yep, cognac interior.
And
full leather. It's
unbelievable. And again, you know, going around these cars first, that's what I always do. And I give you guys the skinny on what the car's all about. But Mike is the expert here. And Mike, you were telling me a story earlier that you've driven every version of the 911 up until the most recent one from, you know, back in the 70s.
That's correct, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that, and you know how this car kind of, like you said, the heritage really kind of transcends into this car, especially for the older cars.
It does. So a few years ago I had the opportunity to drive each 911 series in a row on the same day, back to back, and it was a very unique experience, and I got to feel the characteristics of each generation side by side, so to speak. And what was exciting about the 997 is that we refer to it as a neo-classic because its DNA is still very relatable to the original car from 1964 and all the previous generations before that. So the road holding, the characteristics, you know, all hark back to the original car, the driving position, all hark back to the original car. So one of the many reasons why the 997 is so popular amongst enthusiasts is that it gives you that blend of old and new, you know, that perfect blend where if you wanted a classic Porsche but you didn't want to go too old, but you like the new ones but maybe they're a little bit too much money, this really fits in that segment where you can have, you know, the best of both worlds, so to speak. This car, for instance, features a robust transmission that's dual clutch that we already mentioned. You've got paddle shifters on the steering wheel. Also, you have Porsche's Active Suspension Management, and I mean, you're not going to get that on an 80s Carrera.
Right.
So a lot of really good stuff. Not to mention all the usual stuff like heated seats, cooled seats, navigation, tire pressure monitoring system.
Yeah, I had noticed that. It was really cool. You could set it to winter tire or summer tires, which was kind of neat.
Yeah, a lot of clients do drive these in the winter time. The Carrera 4 is all-wheel drive, and with snow tires, it actually performs very well in the winter and in the snow for that matter.
And I'm noticing one thing, right? It's really, really user-friendly as far as how everything is set up. You know, you don't have a lot of screens in the car. This is very much analog, and it's a nice kind of throwback, but in a much more modern vehicle.
And the power too, the power is excellent. I believe we're running at about 386 horsepower.
Wow.
310 pounds of torque. So with that said, why don't you go ahead and downshift a couple of clicks.
Holy goodness.
Now you've got the full power band at your disposal, and we can really have some fun, yeah?
Using the little paddle shifters, it unbelievable. Just so incredibly tactile and linear in how it just takes off. It almost feels, in a way, like an electric vehicle where it just keeps going and going and going. It doesn't seem like there's any end to it.
One thing at Porsche is that they require us to know everything about the car, not just a little bit, whether it be technical specs or road holding, so that we can relay that information to the customer. It's very important, and the factory demands that of us as well. Because the last thing they want is for someone to ask us a question and we don't know the answer.
Right.
Sometimes we do, but usually we know the answer.
Yeah, I've asked you a million questions about Porsche, and you always have it like right at the top of your head. I'm like, how does he know all this stuff?
Well, yeah, we get tested a lot. The factory tests us extensively throughout the year on all the products, including the classic stuff.
With the all-wheel drive, it's just flawless.
Yeah.
The handling is unbelievable.
And there's no worry about breaking loose. I know on some of the classic Porsches that are strictly rear-wheel drive with no assistance systems, you know, the fear of breaking loose is there.
Yeah.
This car, the Carrera 4, virtually impossible to break loose. Maybe if you shut the traction control off and you really abuse it, but for the most part, it's very difficult to impossible to get it to break loose.
10, 12 years ago, this car was state of the art, and it still is.
It is, yeah. And actually right now we're going to go ahead and turn on the Active Suspension Management, which is going to tighten up the suspension a little bit, lower our center of gravity, and we'll hit some swirlies up here. So I can, just in the passenger seat, I can already feel that it got tighter.
Oh, definitely. It's squatting down a little bit more.
Yep. And we can take this really hot if we want. You'll see it's very easy. And I mean, anybody, you know, could have taken that because the car inspires so much confidence and does such a good job at road holding. You don't have to be a race car driver to be able to have fun with the car.
This is unbelievable.
Now the braking system on the S features our larger red braking system. So you've got fixed calipers all the way around. The point is that they're fixed, and you know,
this is just
only like Ferraris and Lamborghinis.
I'm noticing the seats in this car are incredibly comfortable.
Yes, they are. And this car has 8-way power seats with lumbar. Very good bolstering on the hips and the back. So they're seats that you can sit in all day long.
Yeah, I can see this on a road trip.
Yep. Some Porsche enthusiasts might already be aware of this, but you know, Porsche has a major stake in the Recaro seat company, and so Recaro has been designing and manufacturing all of our seats now for several decades. And so that comfort's very important when you're behind the wheel, because you know, fatigue will definitely affect your experience. Also, we're in the Cabriolet version of this car, and you'll notice that even though this car is 15 years old, it's still very quiet, no rattles, no strange noises.
Yeah, you can't hear anything external of the car unless you're really, really listening for it, and that's just wind noise, but it's not even a lot. You and I are talking at a normal volume right now, and having no issues with communication.
The convertible top is actually 3 layers, like a sandwich. So you have the outer layer, which is canvas. You have the inner layer, which is a fabric called mohair, which is nice and soft. And then in the middle of that is insulation, so that you can, you know, reduces the sound. It also keeps the car cool in the summer, warm in the winter, that type of thing.
Wow. So, you know, part of this car's charm and the analog part about it is this right here, the cornering. So we're going to drop a couple of gears and just, it moves. Oh my goodness, is that inspiring.
Yeah, that was excellent, Eric. Really good job. I mean, we were very well planted around that corner. From a passenger standpoint, you know, you were in 100% control. I wasn't nervous. I mean, we weren't going super fast, but you know, many sports cars will make the passenger feel nervous. Not this one.
What I would call the new entry-level 911. You know, if you don't want to spend for a brand new car or whatnot, this one right here, with the convertible, with the all-wheel drive, with the, you know, ability to drive it in the winter, this car is definitely a must-buy. So if you're in the area in Nashua or New England or New York, come up to Porsche of Nashua and check it out, because I'll tell you something, they have some great cars. Ask for Mike. Porsche Nashua will treat you right. You'll get into a great car knowing that they've gone through it with their inspection checklist in making sure the car is right for you, which is the respect that they have for all of their clients. So again, thank you to Porsche of Nashua, and if you like this type of content, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and remember, it's about the drive. Over here, of course, is your directionals. Why I can't even talk today. Over here are your